Okay, guys, it's time to do the final rig report of 2024. That's right, 2024 has come and gone. And one good thing about the December 2024 is the Edmonton Oilers have improved on every statistical aspect that I do the rig report on, with exception to two. And the two that they didn't improve on, they have only dropped one spot. So let's give them a big salute. So those of you that are new to the channel or don't understand how this rig report works and what I basically made up here, basically it is an actual legitimate formula grading system. So basically, if they are ranked first or second in the league, they get an A plus. If they're 31st, 32nd in the league, they get a fail. And then all the allocated grades that follow in between. And I will kind of mention where some of these grades were for some of them, especially the ones where they've had a huge increase on. But we got to be proud of the boys. They're starting to finally play good, despite the California road trip where they lost to both LA and Anaheim, which I wasn't very pleased about. But they were able to get their, together against Utah on New Year's Day. So let's break down the stats that I base this off of. We'll start off with point percentage, shots for, shots against, power play, penalty kill, goals for, goals against, save percentage, face-off win percentage, and I will tabulate all of those to come up with a total grade of where the Oilers currently stand in the league from October till present, till December 31st, which was the last day of December. So it does include the New Year's game against Utah. Let's get into it. Point percentage for November, they scored a B. They were 13th in the league at that point in time. After a tricky start to the season and having the fan base wondering what happened to the team they saw just a few short months ago, the Edmonton Oilers have returned to form despite some injury obstacles. They have bounced back 5 spots. They've jumped up to 8th to make them now a A-. So one of those stats that they've improved on, that it wasn't like their point percentage was horrible, but it's nice to see them improve on whatever stat we can come up with. In November, the Edmonton Oilers were an A+ for shots for, as they were ranked 2nd in the league. That's amazing. This would be one of the 2 stats that the Edmonton Oilers would lose ground on for the month of December, both of which I'll add saying only by one position, like I mentioned at the beginning. They dropped off 1 spot. They're 3rd right now, which puts them at an A. Ooh, whoop-de-doo. You know what? I'm okay with that. In November, the Edmonton Oilers were a A against shots against, and they were 5th in the league at that point in time. The Oilers continued to stay resilient on that stat, improving only by 1 spot, which still keeps them with the same grade. Yes, they still remain with an A. They have jumped up 1 spot to 4th. Let's get into the power play. The power play was a C-, and a lot of people were wondering, what the hell is going on with this team? This team had a league history best power play only 2 seasons ago, and now they've just dropped off the face of the earth. So they were a C- back in, November, at 23rd overall. We're talking McDavid, we're talking Draisaitl, we're talking a 50-point goal scorer in Zach Hyman, and this team is that far down the ranks. I was like shaking my head in disbelief. The Edmonton Oilers, with a huge surprise of their fan base, really dropped off the map on this stat the first 2 months of the season. However, jumped up 10 spots in the month of December. So that, to me, deserves 10 spots is huge. They were 23rd in November. They are now currently 13th in the league. And they score a B. In the month of November, the penalty kill was a D minus. From the start of the season, this has been the Edmonton Oilers' Achilles heel, starting off in November with a dreaded F. That's right. If you look back in November, in October, they were 31st in the league on this particular, and I got September there, but it was not September, it was October. They were 31st in the league. They went from 31st to 28th and currently stand in 24th. So they're making small strides as they are now a D+. Hope that we can see a little bit more effort on them in regards to this stat. In November for goals for, they were a B-, and that would be goals for. That would be 16th in the league back in November. After a sluggish start, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Connor McDavid, and Zach Hyman, the puck is starting to find the twine, and the trio is starting to look like the boys who represented us back in June in the Stanley Cup playoffs. They moved up, goals for, they moved up from 16th to 10th, putting them in a B+ position. So another improvement. Again, all of this is improvement with exception of 2 stats, and that's all a good thing. Goals against, they were ranked 17th in the league back in November, giving them a C+. They've jumped up 5 spots to 12th. It's not a matter of if, but when Chris Knobloch wins the Adams, it will be a well-deserved, as he's constantly repairing and filling holes, steering the team in the right direction. 100%. This guy is, I tell you what, when Woody got fired, I was very disappointed because here we go again. Same old song and dance. But he is a hell of a good coach. They get a B for this month. So that's a pretty good jump for them from C+ to a B. When it comes to the save percentage, this is a stat that the Oilers really, really need to start figuring out. And this would be something that I can't think of the goaltending coach right now off the top of my head, but they have to come together and come with some steady solutions because it has been all over the map. This stat really needs to stabilize. It's like turbulence descending from LAX or into LAS in Vegas, at least from my experience. Both Skinner and Picard have played well in December. We'll see if what's in store for 2025. Now, I'm going to go over some of these before I give you the grade on the save percentage and just the fluctuations here. So we're going to go October 23, they were 30th. November of 23, they were 63rd, 69th in December of 23. Then they jumped up to first, and this was when I was doing the rig report based on a monthly basis. 27th, 5th, 23rd, 27th, 26th last month, up to 9th this month. So a huge, huge improvement. But again, this consistency needs to improve as they are a B+ for this month. I'd like to see them flatline a little bit and stay consistent right around the, I'm happy with a B to a C+ range because I know we don't have the elite of elite goaltenders that some of the teams do have, like the Hellebucks or the Ottingers. But we do have a good goalie in Skinner, and he's finding his way. He's trying to find his way. But I just want to see some consistency. That is the main takeaway of this one. In November, for the face-off win percentage, they got an A. And I do believe this is the second stat where the Edmonton Oilers lost ground, dropping one spot. The Oilers' worst mark on the stat occurred in October of 23, where they were ranked 15th in the league and graded a C. Since then, they've been doing very well on the Rig Report. So that means the overall grade for the Edmonton Oilers, oh, sorry, I'm jumping ahead myself. Yes, they remain an A. The overall grade for the Edmonton Oilers for the month of December on the Rig Report, the final Rig Report of 2024, the Edmonton Oilers score a B+. So, you know what? I'm quite pleased with their efforts. You can't complain. B+, that's pretty good considering they've improved on every stat with exception of 2, and the 2 that they've dropped off by 1. Anyway, guys, we'll see you at the end of January for the Rig Report for then. Until then, let's hope that the Oilers continue their winning ways. Let's hope that the Oilers make up some ground, and let's hope by the end of January, we're talking the first place Pacific Division Edmonton Oilers. You guys have an amazing night.